I feel like organizing is all the hype right now. We all have seen those pictures where you have these really nicely curated pantries or closets or desks, just any space where you have more stuff. There are even so many gadgets now on the market just for organizing, whether it's bins or lazy Susans or label makers, things that to make organizing more fun, telling you that you need all this extra stuff to control your stuff. But I would argue that organizing is just putting a pretty bow onto your clutter. You're trying to beautify your clutter to make it look a bit nicer. It's kind of like putting a tiny band-aid on a big wound. It just doesn't really work, and definitely not in the long run. Oftentimes we start organizing because we have this overwhelming feeling of our stuff. We feel like our stuff is kind of stressing us. We maybe feel like we have too much just lying around, and organizing, that is the solution. And yes, it may have a positive effect that this stressed, overwhelmed feeling might disappear, but it often only is for a little while and then it comes back. I definitely have experienced this as well, just feeling like I need to organize my stuff to make it more visually pleasing. That will get rid of this anxious feeling, but sooner than later that feeling returns, and that just means that organizing wasn't the right solution here. The problem that we often fail to see is that we just have too much stuff, and that is what is causing us stress and discomfort, and organizing will not solve that issue. As I said before, it's kind of just like making your clutter a bit prettier, but it doesn't really solve the issue of the clutter. So what is the most important difference here between organizing and minimizing? So organizing is all about creating systems in your space, what goes where and how does it go there. There are definitely many benefits to organizing. You know where your stuff is, you know where it belongs, so tidying is faster and finding things is also faster. Minimizing, on the other hand, is really about owning less. So it really is about reducing the number of things that you have. In minimalism, we really want to focus our resources onto what is truly important, resources like money, time, and energy. And by cutting out all the excess, you can really, as I said, refocus that all those resources onto things that are most important. So in a sense, you eliminate all the distractions and really focus in on what brings you most value in life. But it also isn't about deprivation, more about intentionality. So being really intentional with what you have in your life and bring into your life and what you consciously choose to leave out. So as you can see, one is more about rearranging the things that you have, and the other is consciously eliminating things that you have. Now, even if you're decluttering before you start organizing, that still doesn't really mean that you are minimizing. The key here is that post decluttering and organizing, that you also really keep the amount of things that you own to that minimum. So you do have the goal of long-term reducing the amount of stuff that you have. Because often what happens is once we've decluttered and organized, we in a sense free up more space in our home, and then there often is that itch to, well, I have more space, so why not add something there that I really like? And we fall back into the trap of repurchasing things and refilling the holes that have now been created. I know it's difficult because we now have that added space and we might find the impulse to fill that, but it's more about embracing the now created space. You will find that the space is what gives you peace. If we want to get more philosophical, you could even say that we often notice the things in the room, but we don't really come to notice and appreciate the space in the room. So I know it's really tempting to want to fill the space and fill gaps, but really try to see the beauty in the gaps and the space. Now, it might sound like I'm really demonizing organizing, but I'm really not. I truly think that you need both. So you need to minimize and organize. It can be really messy even though you are minimal. So you do want to take care of your space and respect your space by cleaning up and tidying and organizing.
Another great tip for organizing as a minimalist without having to buy extra organizational gadgets is to use what you already have. So to use cardboard boxes that we often get for online purchases that you might make. So let me show you what I mean. So here we have Johanna's clothing drawer, and we just use cardboard boxes that we cut to the shape that we want. And this way you can organize your socks and underwear and t-shirts in a nicely beautiful way. Same thing here in our kitchen. I mean, it might not be the prettiest, but there is a door that closes anyway, and it makes for a great makeshift drawer. So we have all our spices in here. We take them out and we can see all the names of what we need, and we push it back in. And this way we make great use of the slightly awkward space here and a great place for our spices.
But don't try to use organizing as a way to fix that overwhelming feeling that you tend to get when you do have excess stuff and clutter in your home. With that being the issue, you really need to minimize instead of organizing. And remember that decluttering is only half of the job. The really tough part actually is the embracing the space and not buying new stuff. And trust me, I know it's so hard to withstand the urge to purchase new stuff because we are surrounded by messages of consumption on a daily basis. So try to remind yourself of the goals that you might have when it comes to minimalism. So are you doing it for financial reasons or environmental reasons? Do you maybe want to own less so you don't have to work as much? Do you want to have more time and energy for your passions? Just try to visualize and write down what is why you want to pursue minimalism. What is your goal? What motivates you? And if you need a little extra reminder and motivation, I have done a video on how to stop shopping, how to strategically tackle those urges, what things you can do to make your life a little easier, to eliminate those triggers. So I'll be sure to link the video here or in the description down below. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and it gave you something to think about. Let me know down below if you've fallen into the trap of organizing instead of minimizing, because I definitely have, and sometimes still do here and there. So you're not alone in this. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on my channel on simple living, better living with less. I hope to see you again sometime soon. Thank you so much for spending your time here with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.